Okay, so I'm in this super boring meeting about something, I don't know, wasn't paying attention. Then, boom! It was like an ugly contest where everyone was a winner. This one dude was all, raw, so I shot him, and then I shot this other one, shot a couple extra guys just to be safe. I did a lot of shooting, if I'm being totally honest. And I'm thinking, I've got this, you know? When you're in that, you go, I got this. But man, I so did not have it.
A lonesome star in a bitter sky. I hear the hungry ghosts calling out in the night. Just a couple victims of this brutal prize. Am I strong enough to let things just die? A spark alive. But if there's nothing on the other side, why can't I leave well enough alone and go to the light?
Cade is dead. One of the few and only potentially bright points in Destiny as a franchise has just been snuffed out by a character that we didn't think was alive, or we didn't know was alive, or was dead, or potentially around at all. But there were whispers throughout the Grimoire and the lore community that he may be stumbling around on Mars and a couple other planets in some sort of crusade to do something with the Fallen. But as we've seen with the trailer from E3, from the Sony conference, from Bungie Activision, Cade 6 is dead. Will he stay dead? We don't know. The process of getting an Exo back up and working without a ghost, as we've seen in the trailer I just showed you, is tough, and we don't really know everything about the specifics. And then Bungie could go back on a lot of the lore they've previously put down in Destiny 1, as they've already kind of done in Destiny 2, and could potentially retcon it to bring, Cade back into the fold. But I think this is a good starting point, and generally the community has been both yay and nay for this, kind of at the same time. Yay in that, yes, this is going to be a darker, grittier Destiny world that we kind of want, but it's also said that we are going to be seeing one of the most likable characters from the Destiny 2 franchise, or just the Destiny franchise in general, Cade, being taken out of the equation as one of the few character-driven characters that we actually like to kind of be around. He's the wisecracker. But he's gone. And Prince Uldrin has killed him in his quest to defeat us. And this is kind of what the focus of this video is going to be about, Prince Uldrin's motivations for why he's doing this, and where we're going to see him in his journey, and where we're going to meet him in our journey in Forsaken Destiny 2. But Prince Uldrin, so he's actually been, he's broken out of the prison, or he's broken into the Prison of Elders, and he's released 8 or 9 barons. And believably, Prince Uldrin has become not the Kell of Kells, but he might have become the Kell of Kells, as Skolas was taken out of that position from us in Destiny 1 during the House of Wolves expansion. So maybe Uldrin has taken over this position and has decided that maybe we're to blame, and that's probably where this comes from. He's taken over the houses, or he's taken over a house, and he's released the 9 evil barons that we are potentially going to have to kill, probably, in Destiny 2 Forsaken. And he's using them to attack the city, as we've seen him kill Cade. This is probably a prelude to a short trailer we saw for Forsaken, where we Guardian and Cade, travel to the Forsaken planet, or to whatever the Forsaken area is, and we're going to probably try and stop the riot and this apparently might happen at some point in there, and we get overwhelmed, and then Cade gets shot. But he might be doing this, Uldrin, because he feels that we are responsible for the death of his sister, and this is just one of the things that he could be doing. It could be any amount of stuff, but this is just based on speculation. I've been talking with people, a group of my friends who also play Destiny 2, and when we killed Crota in Destiny 1, that brought the ire and the attention of Oryx to come to our system to deal with us. And Mara Sov, the Queen of the Awoken, was the first person to engage him. Whether this was a good idea, whether this was a good plan, really was hard to say, because without her we probably wouldn't have been able to defeat Oryx. Basically, if you don't know from the Taken King, which you should, because if you're listening to my channel, you probably played Destiny 1 Taken King in some capacity. Oryx showed up, Mara Sov's fleet engaged Oryx's battleship, the Dreadnought, and I'd say the height of the battle, she launches an energy weapon, or a weapon that's powerful enough to destroy full-on hive ships, as it does, but then one of them hits Oryx's ship, and it doesn't do anything. The effects aren't foreseeable. And then Oryx comes out and fires basically the giant doomsday cannon he's got on his Dreadnought ship, and essentially causes a giant explosion that wipes out a good chunk of Saturn's asteroid belt, the ring, and destroys most, if not all, of the Awoken fleet. We see Mara Sov she kind of either dies or she's transported away. She stops existing, and we see Uldrin kind of trying to outrun the blast and screaming as it happens, and then it cuts, and we never really get to see the aftermath of that. We don't really know what happens. It's never really firmly like shown what happened to the rest of the Awoken. Are they still around? Is there some sort of kingdom still there? There's no one really in charge. Uldrin's missing. The queen's probably dead. So Uldrin at this time could have seen this as a sort of, we brought the destruction to our solar system, and she chose to engage, and he could almost infer that maybe we're the reason that she's dead, because since in killing the sun we brought the king was then engaged, and even though she helped us a lot because her blast seems to have immobilized the Dreadnought, and that's why Oryx came out to deal with her, because that eventually became a problem. She stopped it from moving, believably, and that allowed us to then go to it and disable the cannon completely, and basically making the Dreadnought just a giant floating fortress that isn't moving. Or else he would have just come and just destroyed us anyway once the ship got back up and running. And to this day, the Dreadnought is just still sitting in Saturn's ring, just not doing anything. We haven't dealt about it. Apparently we can't blow it up, because if it blows up, it'll destroy the entire solar system again. So we don't really know what we're going to do with it. We could break it down, but again, it's just, with the Red War coming in and then the Cabal showing up, I guess we didn't have a lot of time between that and Rise of Iron to do anything about it. But Uldrin, again, probably blames us for his sister's death. Now, he could be doing this in control of, with the directive of Mara Sov. Maybe the Queen is still alive and she's giving him hints. I don't imagine that's it, though, because that seems like such a, I need you to go to the prison and break out these 8 barons or whatever and attack the city. Seems kind of weird after you sacrificed your fleet to give us the time we needed. But so I don't imagine Mara Sov is behind this in any way, shape, or form. Prince Uldrin could be taking up the power vacuum. He could be going into there and he could go like, okay, well, this is time for me. This is a chance for me to become, the Awoken King or whatever, and potentially just, take that position of power that my sister left. But I think it makes it much more interesting if it's a revenge story on both sides. We have Uldrin, who wants revenge at us for having his sister getting killed, because you could argue we indirectly got her killed if she is dead. And then he kills Cade, which gives us a revenge. So it is a revenge story for both sides, except unfortunately it looks like Prince Uldrin will have a slight leg up on the competition with the massive amount of barons. I don't know that we've been fully mobilized as the Guardian City yet, but I just really wanted to look in this video at the motivations he might have for coming to kill Cade or to attacking us, breaking out the Barons, and it seems, and again, as Bungie have hinted that it's very much a revenge story. Now, we always infer that, of course, as like, oh, well, you know, he kills Cade, of course it's gonna be a revenge story, we're gonna go get him. But I think too often, I think people aren't looking at Uldrin, who also has probably as much motivation to come after us, and we didn't see, you know, from our perspective, we didn't see Uldrin and the Queen kind of really do much. Like, they kind of traded, you know, back and forth a little bit, but we really didn't see any sort of like social connection between those two characters as much as we did between us and Cade. So obviously, from our viewpoint, it's going to be slightly skewed because the person that we've just seen being killed is someone we know well, or we spend enough time with that we can feel some sort of emotional entanglement there that we're like, oh, they just shot that guy, I need to go get this dude. But so I think it's interesting that it is a revenge story from both angles, and I think too often people don't think about Uldrin, and we're only thinking about, you know, from our perspective of Cade. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely gonna get him because he killed Cade. But I think it's good to lean back a little bit and kind of look at this from a broader perspective. Sorry, and just see it from both viewpoints. Again, doesn't mean take it easy on Uldrin. He's gonna get what's coming to him. And at the end of the day, I firmly believe that the Awoken Queen Marasov made that choice, and she looked at this she looked at it the long con and was like, Oryx is too powerful for just, I think we as a fleet cannot defeat him, we have to do something. So she took the option to do as much damage as she could and disabled the Dreadnought, which gave us the chance to board it, shut down the weapon, and eventually just kill or defeat the Taken King, because who knows if he's still crawling around somewhere. But I firmly believe in that viewpoint, but Uldrin might not see it that way, which is, again, what makes it interesting character development. So this will be an interesting revenge story, and that's really the video, guys. I really just wanted to do that little snippet of the two trailers at the end, because I thought I saw a Twitter post that was that. It was just, I so did not have it. I just thought it was really cool to kind of clarify that with, you know, kind of link that to the new Forsaken trailer. But that's really it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any sort of, if you feel differently about Marasov and Prince Uldrin, if you have kind of a different viewpoint about the Taken King expansion, the very beginning, Uldrin's motivations, or how you're going to get back at him when we get to him for Cade, if you're going to take that, you're going to take the gun back that he took from Cade, put a bullet in his head, and leave one for him. Let me know what you're going to look forward to the most in the upcoming Forsaken DLC, and how the story is going to, you think it might play out a little bit, because that's my just 2 cents, but I'd love to hear your guys. So, I've been IronObie, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.